Hello, it is Monday and welcome to a new weekly reading vlog. I'm starting this very different from how I ended last night's vlog. I am still feeling not great, I'm not gonna lie. My throat's still tacky, my sinuses still feel a bit stuffy. Luckily the headache yesterday got nipped in the bud by meds, so I don't have to suffer. I don't know what this bit of hair is doing. Will always be discussing my hair apparently. As you can see, I have showered, which has partially happened with the sinuses and my pain because I had the temperature up high. Like my joint pain, the heat really helps. But now I'm like, my hair is so fluffy and I need to straighten it, but I'll do that later. I am thinking about filming my August TBR because Tori's reminded me that I in fact do need to do that because it's almost the end of the month, but I'm so gung-ho on getting this TBR finished for this month that I didn't even think about next month. But for now, I'm drinking my tea. I've already had a cup of tea and then went in the shower. I'm going to watch Mini Minute Man. It's really hard to say it quickly. And then I'm going to see how I feel. I need to eat something as well, so we'll see. But I really need to film and it's already like 2:15. So we'll see how that goes. Kay will be due home from work about 5 o'clock. And I don't know what Douglas is doing, so he might just appear at some point. But as you can see, I have a delivery, and I think I should know what this is. This should be Devour Me, but let's find out together. I see this as a good omen. Okay. Yes. It is indeed Devour Me by Emily Rath. This is the book that I'm currently reading as an ARC, and this allows me to, there we go, 505 pages, which is less than the estimate says it should be. So now I can accurately track my pages and see where I am in this book. I am loving this so far, by the way. I have been reading this. There we go. Chapter 33. Okay, so these chapters are really small as well, which does not help me. So I'm on page 220. So I am working through this pretty well. I don't have a bookmark. Okay, this can have my assistant to the, I'm just dropping things so much today. This can have my assistant to the villain, Kingsley bookmark. So I am here in this book. And I also should be starting The River She Became today. I've put it into this book buddy bestie, oh my god, so that I can protect the hardback, you know, as I like to do. So this book, the rest of Devour Me, and all of Gold, why did I never get the title right? Glass Sword are the books that I still need to read. It is currently Monday, the 27th. So I've got the 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. 5 days. I've got till Friday. Monday through Friday to read this. Which is daunting, I'm not going to lie. I've got this and this on my Kindle. This because I've got an ARC, and this because it's on KU. So this is my physical read for the moment. And then I'm hopefully going to finish this on my Kindle and then switch over to Glass Sword on my Kindle. I could also just read it physically. But, yeah, honestly, I'm so enjoying this so much. I cannot explain how much I'm enjoying this. I was really scared I wasn't going to like this, but I love it. And I just honestly cannot explain how much I'm loving this so much. And I'm so intrigued as to what's going to happen. So intrigued. But I'm going to go just now, like I said, and watch my video, drink my tea, get something to eat, and then hopefully film August TBR. Oh my god, I can't believe it's August. I turn 34 next month. By the time you're seeing this, I will probably be 34 because I'm so behind on vlogs. My birthday is the 21st of August, so maybe I've still only got, I think I've only got one other, maybe 2 vlogs to edit before this one. So this might get to you before my birthday. But yeah, my birthday is the 21st of August, and I turned 34. 34! Like, I'm nearly in my mid-30s, which is wild. Anyway, I'm going to go and stop weathering. Hello, good evening. It is Tuesday, and it is roasting. It is absolutely boiling in here. I was really cold earlier and now I'm roasting. It's like my body knows that it's cold and then it goes, oh crap, we need to turn the heating on. All of a sudden I'm roasting. So that's fun. I wanted to update about Devour Me. Have I finished anything else in this time? No, I've also not started anything else. I have 66 pages of Devour Me left. So I can read about that in an hour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on a timer and do an hour sprint and hopefully finish the book. I have just discovered, previous to this obviously, that Cassandra Clare has posted that James Marsters, who plays Spike in Buffy, will be, I'm going to have to put my hair up, it's really annoying me, just touching me. So she has announced that James Marsters, who plays Spike in Buffy, will be narrating the Wicked Powers trilogy. So I am so here for that. I love James Marsters. I love Spike. Unfortunately, he's not doing it in his Spike voice with the English accent. He's doing it in his own American accent, which is, you know, but it's still him. And so I sent this to the group chats to be like, look, it's James Marsters narrating the books. And Becca comes back saying, oh yeah, I did the Dark Artifices, the last 2 books in the Dark Artifices too. And I'm like, excuse me? Did you just make my August easier? Because those massive books have audiobooks that I would like to listen to because it's James Marsters. This is a reread as well, so I can like immersion read. And I feel like this is the way to go. The first book, again, the first book is not James Marsters. I can't remember the name of the woman who narrates it, but she is in Firefly. And I love Firefly, and I love her in Firefly. So that's exciting that she does the first book, because she does Lady Midnight. And then James Marsters does Lord of Shadows and Queen of Rain Darkness. So, yes, I will be listening to the audiobooks. So that is exciting. That has just made my August slightly easier. So, you know, we're doing a poll. We're doing a betting poll on who thinks I can read how many books. I'm gonna make a board or something. I'm gonna take a list of how many books people think I can read and see who gets the closest. I don't know if I'll do anything else with it yet. Just, you know, see who gets the closest. Because there are 25 books in my TBR. Technically, 26 books in my TBR, because I forgot that Crosscheck comes out. I think, no, it is just Crosscheck. Crosscheck comes out in the third week, it's the 26th of August, Crosscheck comes out, and I will want to drop everything immediately to read that. So, unfortunately, I have 26 books to read, so anything that makes life easier, I could swap it out with something. I might just swap it out with something. I'll see how I feel. But that's one of my priority reads. So, yeah, I will see how that goes. I'm very, very excited for that coming out though, so it will be getting picked up straight away. The house also smells amazing right now because I've got a batch of bolognese on, and that's got another 4 hours to cook, so it's going to be like 1:30. It will need to get turned off and set to cool, so that's fine. I will set an alarm for that, get up and I'll come downstairs, put it to the side. I really want to go to bed right now, like I'm so tired, I really want to go to bed right now, but it's only like the back of 9 or something, 9:45, and I'm determined to finish this, but I don't want to take upstairs. Like, it's going to take me time to get everything I need, get myself like more water, like, and get myself ready to go to bed. Whereas if I just do an hour sprint, get this book finished, then I can go to bed and it'll be sorted. I am still thoroughly enjoying this book. I'm not sure if it's going to be a standalone or if it's going to be a single book, because there's like part of the story is this island. So is this island which is the home of a coven of witches, and the original 5 members of the coven were killed as witches, but they also warded the island, and so there's someone looking into the history, so to say, and so that mystery is still to be resolved. Like I say, I've got like 66 pages left. That mystery is yet to be resolved. So I don't know if this is going to be a series or what, because I have many questions. Many questions. And I don't know if it can be wrapped up in the last chunk. Like, on purpose. I have faith in Emily Rath. If she wants to wrap it up, she will wrap it up. But I feel like this might be a series. So, you know, I don't actually know if it is or not, but I'm very, very excited to learn what she has to tell me in these last few pages. I honestly am loving this so much. I can't stop reading it. Once I pick it up, I can't stop reading it. But then I've needed to get up to I've needed to either stop so I could sleep, or recently I've had to get up to nip to the toilet or see the Hamish, or put the fan on because it's boiling in here, that sort of thing. Anyway, I'm gonna go now and read this book. Okay, so I just finished a Vermi. That was rude. That was so rude. How dare you? How dare you end that there? What? I'm looking at the... Oh my god. Looking at the end of the actual book, hoping that maybe I missed something in the arc. That is so rude. That is so fucking rude, Emily. Emily, why? Why? Oh my god. Okay. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's fine. I'm not fine. I'm very not fine. That is, I'm very not fine. But that's another book off the TBR. All I've got left now is Glass Sword and The River She Became. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. This is just a quick update because now I get to get ready to go to bed. Although I'm not going to be able to go to sleep because... What was that? What was that ending? I literally put a sprint on, an hour sprint. I had 9 minutes left by the end of it. 9 minutes. Yeah, that was, Yep. Yep. But now I get to read... Oh, you can't see it. It's right. Glass Sword. Okay, fine. Hello, it's Thursday. I absolutely forgot to vlog yesterday. I 100% forgot to vlog yesterday. My apologies. But I got sucked into The River She Became. I read 306 pages yesterday. So... Yes, this is, so I was talking to Vicky about this yesterday before she went away, when we were doing a call. And this is, since then I have had a chance to look it up, and it is a YA and it is a series. So I got to this point and I was like, I'm not sure if this is a series or if this is a standalone, because the way it's written, there is still enough pages. There's less than 100 pages left, but there is still enough pages to wrap it up where we are. But the story also has enough scope to extend it to a series, which I think is a really good... At 100 pages left, I think that's a really good place to be when it comes to the author. Your story, there are definitely stories where you're starting to get to the end and you're like, right, okay, this is not... There's no way this is going to wrap up in time, so obviously it's a series. But I don't know, the way this is written, it could be a standalone, it could be like I said, there's enough scope for both things to happen, which is really, I think, really cool. I'm really interested. It's weird to say because there is a lot of, I don't know if I would say there's a lot of nothing happening, or if it's just a lot of stuff that, because it's a series, will come into play later on in the series. So I'm unsure until I read the second book or even the end of this. I don't think I can judge, because there are a lot of things I'm like, why are we doing that? Why are we what's this all about? And then sometimes you do that with series. You're reading it and you're like, what's this? What is this filler nonsense? And then you get to a certain point and you're like, oh, here are the consequences of those actions. I get it now. And I say this as someone who is not a very good series or fantasy reader. My reviews of fantasies, I feel, are not necessarily the most instructive, almost helpful. It's definitely obvious that this is a YA, in the sense that that high drive, high stakes, action pushing, sort of narrative that you get in some other books, in adult books, isn't there. Like, there's not the same sort of go push, which I'm not saying YA can't have, but it just reads younger, if that makes sense, than an adult fantasy might. I know what I mean, I hope that makes sense. So yes, this is very much, someone said it's meant to be like a mix of the Mummy and the Holly Black series, but I looked at reviews and I've seen people say it's nothing like the Holly Black series. I think they've said that because it's a fae story. So in this we have two sort of, they're not necessarily realms, like you can access them technically. So Astola is the human side, and there used to be magic. There are magics that you can get through these fae relics, but generally speaking, it is humans that live here. And across the river in Peristan, live the fae, live the Peri. They call themselves Peri, the humans call them fae. And so the Peri are currently cut off from the human world with a wall that goes all the way down the centre of this river. And the humans cannot cross over unless they have a fae relic, which, they're hard pressed to come by, because there's an empire in the human world who are basically, they've come in, they've taken over, and they're taking all the relics back to the Empress, who is keeping them in like a private museum. Very British colonial. Like, this is based on, I believe it's like Indo-Pakistani, not necessarily mythology, but culture. And the empire is very much given Britain, and then on this side of it, there's kind of an echo. So the River Court are the fae that live or the Peri that live here in Peristan, but the River Court has been taken over by the Salt Court, and they are being again pushed down, and their magic is literally being their magic has been lessened because of this takeover, because of something the Viceroy, who's the guy who's in charge of the takeover, has done, which has caused their magic to weaken. And so the two characters, we have one character, Kian from Peristan, who is Peri, and we have Yasima, who is a human, Asterix, and they are both looking for this ancient fae relic from an ancient queen. I thought it was the current, the modern day fae queen of the River Court, who had then died, but it's not, it's an ancient queen. And so the royal family are actually locked up in in this mountain up here. They're locked in this prison in this mountain, and Kian is trying to find this crown, this relic, to help free the royals, and take his court back from the Salt Court. And Yasima is trying to find this fae relic because she believes that will allow her to take down the wall between these two places, and it will then allow magic to flow freely again from the fae world into the human world. Now, they both have different ideas of why this wall was erected. One is that, so the fae version is it stops darkness coming this way. Again, I think possibly British Empire, and the humans think it was to stop the magic coming to our world, and so they have the same goal. They both want to find this artifact. They both want to stop these empires, but they kind of have conflicting needs of it, or from what seems to be conflicting needs. It'll be interesting to see how that goes as we get further through the book. But yeah, so far it's really, really interesting. I have some theories. The theories may be correct, they may be incorrect. I don't know yet. But so far I'm finding it really interesting. I'm getting the mummy side of it. Like, she very much is like Evie. Like, she's got the brown skirt, the blouse, the glasses, the I am a librarian type thing. Like, she's a scholar, she's a librarian, that's what she does. She's an archivist, she researches. She has this view on these relics. These relics belong in the ground. It's funny because both of them, both characters think the relics belong to their people for very different reasons. And there is that discussion of, like, again, artifacts and stuff. So she believes that the relics belong to her people because they have always been there. So the relics are buried, and in the areas that they are buried, it allows life to come from the ground. So when the relics are taken by the Empire, it stops the crops from growing, it dries up water sources, it turns the place literally into a barren wasteland. And so this is why they're fighting to keep these relics. She finds the relics, she tries to find them before the Empire can, and bury them to allow, like, patches of life to come back to her area. And so she thinks that these relics belong to her people because, like, they're ancient relics that have been placed there, she believes, by the people who made them, the Fae, to give this land life. And that is their purpose, and therefore they should stay that way. She doesn't see relics as being lost, she sees them as being hidden. And those are two very different things, because lost things you find, hidden things you leave. Like, she thinks they need to be left where they are. And obviously the Empire are going into lands that are not theirs, taking things that aren't theirs, taking them back to their country and putting them behind glass in a museum so that everybody can see them. It's given British Museum. I'm not going to lie. It's very much given British Museum. And he believes the relics belong to his people because his people made them. And it's the source, or part of the sources of some of their magics. And again, I think, but he's not trying to hoard them. He just, like, he, again, doesn't like that they're being taken from, so the Salt Court are taking them from the River Court, and he doesn't think the Salt Court should be taking them because his people made them for their own people, and therefore they should be kept for their own people. So you see that slight imbalance of, like, where they're all, but they're echoing stories on either side of this, on this river, and there's been, like, the going into vaults and the traps, and there was one that was very specific, and I don't know if it's from a certain book series that we're not really discussing at the moment, or if it's just a general thing that she's not made the connection to, but I've made the connection. It's very specific, a very specific thing she has to do, like, they have to do, and it bothered me when I read. I'm not gonna lie, I was like, did you take this from that book? Because if you did, I'm really annoyed. But it could just be like a general in fantasy thing, and I've just not written a fantasy to see it. I'm not saying it's, you know, but yeah, that did tweak me a little bit. But yeah, there's so many interesting things happening. I do think there's plenty of room for expansion in this world, and obviously it's a series, so it's probably planned that way. So I'll be interested to see how I get on with this. I'm, like I say, almost 100 pages out from finishing it. I think there's 395 pages, so less than 90 pages left, which should be doable very quickly. And then I've got to read Glass Sword. I've got today and tomorrow to read just under 90 pages of this and read 440 pages of this. Luckily, I've got this on Kindle, and it's a reread, so hopefully this will be a faster read. And I'm flip-flopping though, because part of me doesn't want to reread the series. Like, I've reread the first one. Like, I did this a while ago with Twilight. I was like, I had this real urge to reread Twilight. And so I read Twilight, and I was like, okay, that's kind of scratched the itch. I don't want to continue reading. Whereas there's other series where I want to continue reading, but Red Queen, I'm just like, okay, that'll do for now. Like, I don't necessarily need to reread it, but we'll see how I got on with Glass Sword, and obviously I'll update you. I did it, very quick update. I finished The River She Became. Yeah, this is definitely a series, and this should be it. This next the next one should be interesting. The next one should be interesting, because the dynamics have totally shifted. This is great, like, this has got a whole story arc to itself, and then opens up a new arc. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, this was really, really good. I really enjoyed this. There was actually, it's funny when I get some books like this where I got to a point when I was like, everything's hitting the fan, I don't want to read this anymore, it's stressing me out. But I loved that. That was so good. I'm so excited for the second one. No idea when it's going to come out. Thus is the folly of me thinking things are standalones and getting into series by accident. But yes, very exciting, very good. I love these characters so much. Like, it's so interesting. Like, I'm so invested in these worlds and what's going to happen next. So yeah, that is one down, one to go. So all I need to do now is read Glass Sword, and I've finished my TBR. Hello, it is Friday. I just wanted to pop on to say it is the last day of July, and I've decided to not DNF Glass Sword. Technically it's DNF because I got 5 chapters out. I got to chapter 5 and I've decided I don't want to read it. But I'm sure I talked about this. I'm rereading this, so it's not like a DNF, like I'm not finishing it. Like, I have read it before. I was just rereading it. But I think I've got what I wanted out of rereading Red Queen, so I don't really want to reread the whole series. I just, yeah. So I have replaced King's Cage in my TBR with Adversary to the Villain, and then I've switched out Adversary to the Villain and its prompt with cross-check because I forgot about cross-check, so I needed to add it to my TBR anyway. So we're all sorted there. But yeah, I'm just I was just like reading it for the sake of reading it last night, and I was like, I'm not doing that to myself. I'm not doing that to myself. It's, it's a series that I've read before. I can come back to it any time, and I'm not going to push myself to read something just because. So today I think it's going to be a chill day. I'm thinking about rewatching Project Hail Mary, but currently what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back upstairs with these books in it, refill it with my TBR for August and bring that down, and then just relax and watch some YouTube, maybe watch Project Hail Mary, eat my lunch because I've got a meal deal and I'm very excited about it, and just chill out with Hamish, who's currently snoring next to me. Did I almost forget to update the vlog before going up to bed? I don't know why you're asking that. I don't know why you're asking that at all. It's the 1st of July. No, it's not. It's the 1st of August. It's the 1st of August. And I finished my first series TBR-a-thon book. I'm very tired and should be going to bed. Technically it's the 2nd of August because it's 2:30 in the morning. But I read this entire book today. And I got so much more out of it this time. I was so engaged, I was so interested. I don't know if it's because I listened to the audiobook or if it's because I reread or a mix of the two, but I think it's because I've reread it when I'm a bit older and like my brain's a lot more like able to take in more of the nuance of it. But I really, really enjoyed this. The setup for what's going on. Like, I know that the Blackthorns will play an important part in The Last King of Fairy. Especially, I'm assuming. Well, I know Ty and Kit are very important. And based on the short stories that have come out recently, I want to say Mark, Christina, Kieran, and then Livy and Drew. So that's most of the Blackthorns. Like, Emma and Julian are kind of wrapped up in this series, but the rest of them... I don't know about Helen. But, yeah, there's a lot of, like... You can see the story starting. I mean, I've still got, like, the 2 other books to go, which are 699 pages and 880 pages, respectively. So that's a lot of reading to do, but I have the audios for those. And it's James Marsters that does the audio for those. So I'm very much looking forward to that. Again, I forget the woman's name that does the audio for this, but she is in Firefly, and I love her in Firefly, and I love listening to her voice tell me the story. So yeah, all day today I've been on Spread to the Tory, and I've sat here and I've read this, and yes, I find it very I've really enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed this time round. All I remember is not liking Emma from the last time I read it, and that I didn't like all the fairy involvement, whereas this time the fairy involvement so far I like, but I think it's because I know the characters more from like later stories, and I like the characters, so seeing them now, I'm enjoying them more. And Emma hasn't annoyed me yet. So yeah, we're doing better. We're doing better this time. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm very tired, and I have to come up tomorrow to go to the car dealership, because garage, whatever, like the Ford garage, because Kate wants to have a look at cars. Oh my god, I need to go to sleep because I'm not awake. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Hello, it's Sunday, and I am so shattered. It's only 9:20, and I am absolutely gubbed. I think you can see it on my face that I'm a bit gubbed. We got up today. I've not had much sleep. I stayed up until 2 in the morning, half 2 in the morning, finishing off Lord of Shadows last night, and then ended up getting up earlier than I wanted to. One, because I had to, we were getting up to go to the car garage to have a look at cars for Kay, and two, because the friggin' seagulls were attacking the neighbours. So the seagulls were giving it ha 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 ha, and the neighbours were obviously fucking talking loud, talking about trying to get away from it. It's just I'm trying to sleep and everybody's being loud, so thanks. So I'm tired. We actually left Hamish without his coat on today, and it appears he did not like his fit, which is good. Although I've just had to tell him off because he went under the blanket, because the blanket goes off the couch and onto the floor because it's so long, so he goes underneath it, and then he thinks because we can't see him, we can't hear him licking himself, and it's so loud. And I don't even think it was if he was licking himself, he was licking his front paws. But I'm pretty sure he was licking the floor again, and he's so loud with it, and it's you tell him off, and you tell him off, and eventually you have to proper grump at him, and then he wanders off back to feeling sorry for himself, and it's you just stop licking yourself under, stop hiding to try and make me think you're not licking yourself. So yeah, that was fun. I have started reading Dead Reckoning. I'm currently 58 pages in, but I think I'm going to have a nap because I really am struggling. Just a wee 20-minute disco nap, and I'll be totally fine. I will be absolutely fine. I have also started the Anthology of Scottish Folk Tales. I've read the first 2 stories, so this is the contents page. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 sections with 2 stories each. So I figure if I just plug through a couple of stories or a section each day or whatever, I'll just plug my way through this, which is a good way to get going. Other than that, we went to the car garage. I didn't really see anything. There was a couple of things that were not too bad. I personally like the Mitsubishi Outbacks, or the Mitsubishi Outlanders, whatever they were, Outlanders, or the Shoguns. But Kay wants... See, the problem is Kay wants a small car, but Kay is not a small person, and so she needs a car that she can get in without having to, squidge through. So that's a bit of the trouble, because obviously bigger cars are more expensive. And she also wants an automatic, so that I can drive it, and automatics are more expensive. And, yeah, just with everything, we don't really have the extra to be spending on a car, because her car's paid off, but it's also... I'm not convinced it's not going to break down. I'm not going to lie. So there's that. Yeah, got up, had a shower, went to the car place, came back, had lunch. What did I even do then? Chicken got fed. I have been reading, I've been watching YouTube. I'm sure I did something else. I feel like I did something else. Probably just making it up. Anyway, I'm going to go for a wee disco nap. See how I feel in half an hour. Because I'm just really struggling. My eyes are struggling to stay open. So I think I just need a wee nap and I'll be fine. Hello, it's Monday. I totally forgot to update you yesterday and end the vlog. And that is because I read all but the last, 60, 70 pages of this? I got up to 270. Yeah. I went to bed with this much left at 2:30 in the morning. So I read all of this last night. I've now finished it, so I'll just include that in this update. finished Dead Reckoning. I was stunned at the start of this book, I have to say. I don't know if it's the start of the book, actually. Yeah, at the start of the book. Because Suki... Oh, you want to see the ears? Suki mentions that this book takes place almost exactly... Or at the start of the book, takes place almost exactly 2 years after her grandmother dies. Her grandmother dies in the first book. Like, I don't know how much time... Is it the first book? I think it's the first book. I don't know how much time... He's having a nap day. I don't know how much time passes in the first book. But yeah, basically from that book onwards is the space of 2 years. So much happens to Suki in 2 years. No wonder she's on the verge of a nervous breakdown 24/7. I totally get it. You never think about the time, or I don't think about the time that books take place over. See, when I, like, it gets it and it's like, oh, it's been 6 months, I'm like, how has all that happened in 6 months? And I understand why people get, like, that's the thing with things like romances and, like, fantasies with the romance and stuff in them, the way that people fall in love so quickly. In my head, it's kind of timeless. And then a time span is mentioned, I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually quite... Whereas, like, other people, it tends to annoy them, like, they don't like instant love and stuff like that. For me, like, my brain doesn't tag on to how long it's been. But yeah, for all this stuff happened in 2 years. I think this is the 11th book, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is the 11th book. So I think I've only got... According to this, I've got A Touch of Dead and The Suki Stackhouse Companion, which is a series of short stories. So I feel like this isn't the last book. I think there's maybe 2 more. And then the short stories. It might just be that that's all that was published when this got published. It has, like, the list of books inside. I've loved rereading this series. Like, there's just something so enigmatic about this series. I don't know what it is. It's really easy to read. Patricia Cornwell was mentioned in this at the end, right at the end. Like, Patricia Cornwell, they're talking about the body farm, and she's like, oh, do you mean that place in Tennessee? And she's like, right. And she's like, Patricia Cornwell wrote a book called that, didn't she? Patricia Cornwell mentioned. Anyway, yes. I am so excited to be reading this again. I'm so excited to be near the end of it. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. I've also read another section. So I'm reading a section a day, or maybe I might pick it up later on. But just a section at a time of this book. So I've read the Shetland section and the Orkney section. The next is the Western Isles. So we're just plodding along through this. It's folktales. Folktales. So yeah, just doing like 1 or 2 at a time is really quite nice. But yeah, time to end the vlog so I can start the next vlog and actually get up to date with my vlogs. If you want to let me know you were here but you don't want to leave a big long comment, if you leave me a vampire emoji, a werewolf emoji, a wolf emoji, or some other animal, because in the series there are vampires and various were animals. Were with a capital W only is the werewolves, whereas like other shifters can be were, like you get were panthers, were foxes, were owls, were coyotes. And you also get true shifters, who can shift into anything. It's not... Oh, here he is. Oh, okay, he's going. It's not like in the TV show that nobody is switched into a new person. That was a weird thing they did in the TV show. Anyway, leave me some kind of animal or vampire emoji in the comments so that I know that you have gone to this point in the vlog. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to, please do consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!